Harford County fashion, we like to engage in open and intense debate on issues, including education funding. And when that debate was done, and all the cards were on the table, we sat down as mature adults are supposed to, and we agreed upon a solution. And I mean, the agreement is basically that I had withheld funding from my other departments for the coming year to really tighten the belt quite a bit, and I asked other outside agencies to do the same thing, but we did it at least within my departments, and I'm using primarily those funds, and we're going to provide an extra $10 million from county funding to the schools, and the school system's going to pull another $15 million out of their fund balance, their savings from prior years, and we're going to apply that to education, and that's going to avoid any necessity for the schools have agreed that with that level, there's no such, there'd be no layoffs, there's no interference whatsoever with the quality of education in this coming year, and we're also agreed that we're going to work together in the coming year to better align our budgets, our budget process, and to identify savings in the school system and my own system to try to apply those towards education coming up next year. So it's really a matter of just sitting down and openly and honestly evaluating where things are and doing the right thing for the kids. Yeah. And that's what we've done.
You've been criticized, County Executive, by Sheriff Jeff Gaylor for, in his words, defunding the police. So let's take a listen quick to what he told us Monday, and then we'll give you a chance to respond.
Yeah, okay.
And now the county executive is not moving forward and has changed his stories countless times on what he's doing, why it's on hold, why he's not moving forward.
So Sheriff Gaylor says you're putting the brakes on plans for a new Central Precinct Training Academy. What is your response to him?
Yeah, look, for 8 years, I was the lead advocate for police across the state of Maryland, and I haven't changed. And it's just not credible for anybody to suggest that I'm defunding the police. In this year in our budget, our sheriff's deputies are getting a much larger fund increase than any other part of our government. Our deputies are receiving a COLA of at least 6.5%, possibly 8%. Last year, the sheriff received a budget increase of $12 million. That was a record. That record increase was twice of any increase that our sheriff's budget has ever been in the history of this county. And I told the sheriff that, look, I can't do that again. I can't give you a record $12 million increase. So look, I was shocked. I was quite frankly shocked when he came back with a proposed budget increase of $28 million, which is more than twice last year's record increase. And it's just that's not sustainable without a tax increase in Harford County. And public safety remains my number one priority, but that doesn't mean that spending on that is unlimited. And just like our taxpayers, our government has to live within our means, our taxpayers' means. The training center, the sheriff's reference, I put that on hold like many capital projects across the county until I get a better feel of where spending's going, where spending needs are going. We're still wrestling with what does Kerwin mean now and in the future. I don't know, but we've got to be careful where we're going. The center, the training center is currently located at Harford Community College. It's been operating for 20 years. They're still training there. They've successfully graduating classes. So clearly, we have the time to look at this and get this right. But to move forward with that particular project would add another $3 million per year to my police budget for ongoing for the next 20 years to pay for the debt on that particular center. So look, I want great policing. I fully support the men and women in blue and everything they do, and I stand behind them. But I can't spend more than the revenues we're bringing in, and so we're going to continue to support them. And I know the individual law enforcement officers are pretty happy with the COLA that we gave, and for them, they'd rather see money in their pocket than buildings. So we're going to stand. We're going to keep moving forward. I'm happy to sit down with the sheriff anytime and try to adjust and iron out different, reevaluate priorities as we move forward. And we'll continue to look at this project, moving forward for the summer once they get a better idea of what our revenues are, how are we doing. So, we're going to, just like I did with the Board of Education, we're willing to sit down and talk and be mature adults about all this, and we don't need to resort to name calling and that kind of nonsense. It really doesn't do anything to move us further ahead, and I don't think that's what the citizens or the taxpayers want us to do.
All right, we have been speaking with Harford County Executive Bob Casale. We thank you so much for joining us here this afternoon.